Nolan Wells. Was he alive after 4:30 p.m.? Well, two witness accounts kind of explains that all for us, all right? They got into a back and forth on who was right and who was wrong. But let me read it right for you, okay? They says a guy named Matthew Lamp. One of my passengers is pretty certain that he was part of the group that was almost fighting around 5 p.m. The Bertram, which is a boat with the blue top that I posted, left shortly after that and pretty fast. So he's talking about a boat that left pretty fast after this altercation happened. We understand that. I think it was Warren, right? He said that my little brother was a part of an altercation as well. But look at the time period where he says this happened. He says around 5 o'clock. That could be a little bit before 5 o'clock. That could be a little bit after 5 o'clock. But then there was a woman named Melissa Thomas who combated him. Now, listen to what Melissa Thomas has to say. Let me zoom in quicker, a little bit more for y'all so you can see, right? Melissa Thomas is challenging Matthew Lamp. She says, Matthew Lamp, sir, you are sadly mistaken. We are the group that you yelled at as you pulled up thinking that we were going to hit you, and we weren't, and we were paying attention. She says, totally different love, totally different kid was with us. I was with the Bertram boat, and we had no affiliation with him. So they're obviously talking about Nolan, all right? She says, we hate to hear that this has happened, but do not smear people if you do not actually see something happen. This causes more issues for the people in charge trying to find this baby, and it creates stories that are false. Listen now, listen to this part. She says, we did speak to the boys, and at that moment, he did have an entire vodka bottle in his hand. Why was it important for her to message that? She said, we did speak to the boys. Remember, they was having an altercation around 5 p.m. They saying that they left at 4:30 p.m., supposedly, allegedly, right? But look what she says. She says, I did speak to the boys. We did. And at that moment, he did have an entire vodka bottle in his hand. I think that's so weird for her to say that he had that vodka bottle. Why? All the kids are out there drinking. What's the difference if he has a bottle in his hand? Was the bottle of vodka full? Was he chugging it? Was he drinking from the bottle like this? No. If not, then what's the point of you bringing that up? It just seems very weird, right? Seems very alibi-ish, right? She says, you need to revamp your statement and not put blame towards anyone. We do not even know what happened, but I will tell you, you are mistaken. Give the cops my name and I will let them know who we really had on our boats. Coming back here now. Again, listen to what Matthew says, though. He says, one of my passengers is pretty certain that he was part of the group that almost was fighting. And Warren said that I guess his brother, one of them got into an altercation in a fight on that beach, and Nolan was with them. So this man is not saying something that's too far fetched, that he was a part of the group that was almost fighting, right? The Bertram, then he calls out this boat that was next to him. This lady was on this boat. The Bertram with the blue top that I posted, he said he posted it, left shortly, and that they left pretty fast. Why was they leaving pretty fast? That's just shaky for him to even remember that that boat left pretty fast. And then for her to come and chastise him back to say, yo, wait a minute. You don't know what you're talking about. I was on that boat and, you almost hit us. And, I did see him. We did speak to the boys and I did see him with a whole vodka bottle. Why? He's black. Everybody's white. This is why he stands out. What are you looking for him? What matters if he has a whole vodka bottle? If one of the other kids, one of the YT kids, had a whole vodka bottle, would it be an issue? Everybody on that island was drinking. Anytime you look at images of them inside the water, all you see is everybody got a container in their hand and everyone's drinking. So why would you care if he had a whole entire vodka bottle in his hand unless he was literally inebriated and drunk, right? If he was literally chugging a vodka bottle, people say, damn, that's a little thirsty. You chugging a whole vodka bottle, right? If it's full, but you could have been grabbing a bottle to pour a cup, right? Like everybody do, and then passing it to the next person to take their shot, right? So why would that person remember that. And that's just very, very weird to me. That's just very weird to me. Now check out this image, right? This is another person named Caitlin Brashard. Look what Caitlin Brashard says. Caitlin says, we were parked right next to the what? To the boys, to the next boat, right? What else did she park next to, right? Listen, because listen to the next line. You know, we learned this from elementary school. She said we was parked right next to the, it's a blank there, we can't see it. And he was nowhere in sight when the W is right there, when we left at 7:30. So now this person is talking about 7:30 p.m. now, right? But they said that we were parked right next to the what? To the boys, to the boat, to the Triton boat, to something, right? And he was nowhere in sight when we left at 7:30. So what time was it that you was parked by next to whoever it is that you're next to, right? What time was it that you was looking for him, obviously, to notice that he was nowhere in sight? Why does everybody knows that he's nowhere in sight? Why? Because he's black? They said other black people were on the beach as well. So why does everybody just not, like, they know how to locate him or target him to say, okay, no, he wasn't here, or he was here. He had a whole vodka bottle in his hand. Oh, yeah, yeah. Now everybody knows everything about Nolan. But now when we're trying to find out something about Nolan, no one knows. But it seems like y'all seen him and y'all didn't see him. Y'all could locate him. Y'all know the specifics between it. Y'all know everything. But now, after everything has happened, now no one knows nothing. And I find that very, very weird. But as you can see, even in this picture right here, just a quick show you, right? Shorty in the pool, in the water, can in the hand, can in this hand. Look, this person got something in their hand. Like, everybody's drinking. This person up here, everybody got something to drink. So what's the difference if he did have a bottle of vodka in his hand? Why was that so important to bring up? Unless you're trying to say a person's inebriated, a person's belligerent. This goes to show how drunk a person was. And this might be able to say or explain why this person can't be seen or is missing at all. But just based on those two images, think for yourself now. Matthew said that this was around 5 p.m. Okay. He said this was around 5 p.m. when he posted this as well. And that boat left very, very fast. Regardless, he knows of an altercation that happened around 5 p.m. This is when the altercation happens. My belief is that whatever happened with Nolan is probably in connection with all of this fight and everything else that happened. All of these things, I believe, are a chain of events. But we cannot pass that. They said the last time they saw Nolan was 3 p.m. But this man says a fight almost happened and he was among the group. Someone's pretty sure. Well, this woman comes to say, listen, you don't know what you're talking about, but yet she also confirms what he says in the same breath, right? She says, we did speak to the boys. Remember, they had a kerfuffle, they had an altercation, right? Around 5 p.m. So that means that Melissa Thomas, if she says it's true, she went and spoke to the boys. She spoke to them around 5 p.m. And at that moment, when she spoke to them, right, she says that Nolan had an entire, look at the wordage, word usage matters, an entire vodka bottle in his hand. He could have been cracking it open to drink with the friends for everybody to drink. She never said he was guzzling it. She never said he was chugging it. So what's this? What's the sense of calling that it? So that's what stood out about you, is that he was a black guy and that he had an entire vodka bottle in his hand. But regardless of the fact, you are confirming what he's saying, which is basically around 5 p.m., Nolan was still on that island and he still was in the presence of people that seen him. So many people, in my own opinion, are being mum's the word and they're not explaining something. And it's very, very scary. But based on these two, this is a part of the geospatial timeline, the Navy and all of that. This is the geospatial timeline. This report comes from there. All the timeline of events. And these two messages, whether be it that they're conflicting against each other, they do confirm one thing, is that Nolan was present around this time, around this fight. And this woman saying he had an entire bottle. And this man is saying that that boat that she's on right now got up out of here very fast And now she's saying, no, they didn't. So I'll let you think about all of those other little fine-tuned things for yourself. But I believe that this is one of the smoking guns that proves that Nolan was on that beach around 5 p.m. and he was alive at that moment. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thinking. Comment, comment, comment. Hype this video. Let's get us in the algorithm. Share this video. Keep us and get us in that algorithm. Make sure you're liking, okay? Make sure you're liking and commenting. Those are one of the fewest things that you can do. Subscribe to Uda on Go. Hit the notification bells and make sure that you're notified when we are dropping new content, because yo, this whole situation is crazy. But I'm gonna be back with another one.
All my niggas from the Uda, all my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn racks, all my niggas turn shooters. On the internet.